It's not even a bit, you get, it's crazy political. As usual to do with ODM, yeah? So now, yeah, there's something that just got me going on, Yani. This whole tiff between Mbadi, that's the Treasury CS, and Kisumu woman rep Ruth Odinga, right? So it's getting out of hand, man. And they're actually still trending on X, yeah? So the situation is like this. Apparently, Mbadi, this is the headline, yeah? Mbadi hits out at Ruth Odinga as cracks in ODM widen. Yeah, so alikuwa anasema, where is Baba now? Guys, it's been 6 months. It's been 6 months. You can tell he was really pissed. So he came out swinging in Mombasa, pushing the idea that ODM must outgrow the Odinga era political dynasty. So alisema, the party does not belong to one community. ODM does not belong to the Luo community. It does not belong to a family. It doesn't even belong to the people of Siaya. Yeah, that was his tone, by the way. So he went ahead and warned against inherited influence in the party. Alisema, it does not belong to a family. If you are Baba's sister, please respect us. Naturally, guys, he was referring to Nyakamami. That is, Nyakamami is like her nickname. That's how people know her on the ground, by the way. That's Ruth Odinga. Yeah, and then the biggest political line of the moment, you get off Mbadi's speech. Alisema, we must now manage the transition. Baba is no more. This is the post-Raila era. Alisema, it's been 6 months, guys. Can we already move on? But move on yourself. Hey, Kisumu woman rep Ruth Odinga, you guys, she went back. She fired back. You know, she called those remarks a direct attack on the Odinga legacy and family history. So this is what she said. He said ODM party does not belong to the Odingas. Nobody should feel entitled because they carry the Odinga name. Yeah. And then she also pushed back on the tone of Mbadi's comments. Akisema, I say this was a personal attack because I looked around and I was the only Odinga in the room. Yo, first of all, bruv, I can't believe it. I can't believe Mbadi actually said these things when Ruth Odinga was in the room, Yani. What the nerve? Jeez, what happened to respect? What happened to family? Yeah? Because honestly, I've never heard anyone talk down on an Odinga straight up on their face. Yeah? Listen, it doesn't mean you can't agree with them, but there's a way I feel like respect has to play out, especially in public. Anyway, yeah, so Ruth Odinga also defended the sacrifice behind the Odinga name. Alisema, because of the Odinga name I carry, I lived the experience. Traveling to Kenya with the Odinga name on my passport was a nightmare. Yeah. Lakini right now, apparently, Mbadi insists that Ruth misrepresented him. You know, she got it all twisted. Alisema, I'm therefore surprised to see my sister Ruth Odinga distort my speech. Yeah, so guys, man, this is crazy. I'm not really happy about whatever's going down in ODM, man. Especially now between Mbadi and Ruth Odinga. Yeah, Ruth, like, listen, these are leaders who, now the reason I'm saying this story has really disappointed me is because I'm from Kisumu. And I've worked with Ruth Odinga in several occasions. And we know how right now there's questions to do with the leadership of ODM. If at all they're going to stay united. Remember, Ruth Odinga has in several occasions said how she's insisted that the party has to unite. They have to call back, their people. Sifuna, Baba Wino. Let's go back to the basics. There's nothing like Linda Ground, Linda Monanchi. Sisi wote ni Linda Raila. Sisi wote ni Team Raila. That's exactly what she's saying. But whatever's going down in ODM, all these battles that they have, all these tiffs, yeah, to me, I feel like it's not even about the leadership anymore because they have a leadership going on. They have grounded leadership. I think what's going down is the identity. Yeah, so on one end, we have the identity question, we have the inheritance question, and then survival for future engagement, Maze. You know, because the people out here who are genuinely feeling like ODM's popularity has dwindled. You know, the approval ratings of the party in itself is a bit wanting right now. So, Mbadi is basically saying, listen, hapa hivi hakuna story ya legacy. We can't be riding on this whole legacy, maneno. We need to build a new machine. You get Ruth Odinga, on the other hand, she's looking at it from a sort of historical context. And I say, you can't just erase blood. You can't erase the struggle. You know, the sacrifice that some of us built for this party. We've been here since day one. Even Mbadi, by the way, he's been around since day one. He's also one of the people who actually fought for Rao. So what's the truth over here? Because listen, you know what's so crazy? They're actually both right. You can't erase ODM's history. And it's synonymous to the Odinga name and the Odinga dynasty. Another thing, guys, you need to understand is that dynasties are very jealous. Yeah, let's just narrow it down. Let's just try and understand things, I guess, from also Ruth Odinga's perspective. Yeah. Dynasties are bloody jealous. Yeah. You can't just change the status quo without them questioning things. So listen, for me, I feel like building a whole new machine, yeah, moving forward. Besides, Rao died 6 months ago. I think Mbadi, I get where he's coming from. Yeah. But yo, you cannot do away with the Odinga name, you know, from ODM's affairs. Family, the struggle, however you put it. You guys, that name is synonymous to the Luo culture and lifestyle and ODM. That's where this whole ODM transition conversation is kind of messy. Yeah, the party right now, definitely they need to evolve. They need to evolve from that whole Raila narrative, because it was built. ODM success has been pegged on one person, so they need to evolve from that system, you know. And then they need to actually start questioning how they can survive without him. Because I promise you, there's never going to be another Raila Odinga. Yo naye wanafaa kuanza kuzoea, you know. Yeah, but let's be real. That kind of transition, by the way, itakuja na some casualties. Whether we like it or not, there's a lot of ego going down. You know, the stories to do with, I mean, people are going to get out there and say certain things, hurtful things. Some guys are going to threaten to quit. You know what I mean? Now we have Linda Monanchi, nini. Yeah, but the story is literally, what is ODM without Raila? How is it, where is it transitioning towards?